It's another Friday afternoon on independent television and radio. My name is Kingsley Okoje. The program is Hitches and Voices. Don't forget, Hitches and Voices is coming to you courtesy of Network for the Advancement of People with Visible Disabilities, NAVID. NAVID is a non-governmental organization here in Nigeria that is advancing the rights of persons with disability. Today promises to be another super and exciting edition of the program. I'm not alone in the studio today. I have, first of all, our sign language interpreter for today, Mrs. Cynthia Aya. She will be doing service to our deaf community out there. You know what we do on this program? We try to make this program as inclusive as possible. Oftentimes, when discrimination or injustice is served, people only cry out when it is served against them. Martin Luther King Jr. once said that an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Persons with disability all over the globe have oftentimes cried out against all forms of discrimination and injustice meted against them. But what are these injustices? What are these discriminations? Why are persons with disability constantly crying, advocating against all forms of human rights abuses against them? Well, to dissect this on this program today, I have with me in the studio Ebosa Henry, Mr. former chairman, Joint National Association of Persons with Disability, Edo State Chapter. Mr. Henry Ebosa, welcome to Hitches and Voices.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Yes.
I don't forget that this segment of our program, which is all about shedding light on the Edo State Disability Law, is brought to you by JONAPID, Joint National Association of Persons with Disability. Mr. Henry Ebosa, once more, welcome to Hitches and Voices.
Thank you very much.
You know, oftentimes when we talk about discrimination, injustices against persons with disability, people oftentimes wonder, why are they always crying against injustice? Why are they always shouting discrimination? As one living with a disability and someone who has chaired an organization of persons with disability, why are we always frowning and shouting against injustice?
Okay, thank you very much, my brother. You see, in this modern time, especially in the time that we are in now, inclusivity is the key word. It is one of the major things that will differentiate a civilized nation from an uncivilized one. Discrimination reduces the dignity of persons. Discrimination does not make somebody to bring out his full potentials. And so that is why we, as in JONAPID and as persons with disability, we detest to the core the issue of discrimination. When persons with disabilities are given the rights, the full potentials to really bring out their full potential, what they are made up of, you know, they will go a long way to contributing meaningfully to development. Mark you, inclusion aids development. That is why inclusivity is very, very important in this time now. Without inclusion, there's no proper development. Thank you.
All right, I want you to use your own personal life experience to explain to our viewers and listeners out there what exactly, when person says injustice, what do we mean? You know, using your own personal life experience. What are those injustices or discrimination you've had to face in the course of your journey in life?
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me just start. For example, when I came into this studio, first and foremost, I found out that I couldn't climb the step to this very studio. I had to seek for assistance to be lifted up. You know, that alone already affected my person, you understand?
Oh, so lack of access.
Lack of access is a big one. It's an injustice to persons with disability, and I want to use you as a point of contact to reach out to management so that they also put us in a proper viewpoint as far as barriers are concerned. Now, let me say that from my own lifestyle. Thank God, I was born into a family, and my parents that understood what it means to take care of persons with disability. But it's not the same for every person. You see, there are some persons with disability that were kept out of the reach of people. They were hidden. Not there are people that have persons with disability that they hide them. They don't allow people to know that they have disability, persons with disability. So that one alone is the first a crime against inclusion as far as disability issue is concerned. So I thank God my parents were able to, they believe in me, they were able to take care of me, and they were able to send me to school, even though back in school time, during my school time, most of these barriers were also there. But I was able to, I was able to beat some of these barriers, and thank God today I am a graduate by God's grace. I'm not just a graduate, I'm employed. I am a worker, contributing meaningfully to improving my family and also developing the state, contributing to development of the state.
All right, you just made mention of the fact that you are a worker, but not many persons with disability will share in that excitement. Yesterday, fortunately, happens to be Workers' Day, but when it comes to employment opportunity for persons with disability, a lot of persons with disabilities still do not have access to gainful employment. But that's a subject for another day. But looking at the Edo State disability law, one would wonder, why do persons with disability need a specific law that protects their rights? Are their rights not protected under the General Grom Law, which is the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
No. Because if you look at the Constitution of the Federal Republic, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, especially the area that has to do with fundamental human rights, most of these rights are not, as they say, as the lawyers say, they are not justiciable. You understand? And most times, the rights of persons with disability, especially that has to do with in the area of education, health, and health management, are not justiciable from the Constitution. That is why we started clamoring for a disability right law. You see, before now, most government, when they come into when government come into be, they just selectively give out appointment of give out some appointment, or try as much as possible to make people believe in that government by giving encouraging one or two persons with disability with money, and these are not this type of actions are what causes benevolence. No, they are just they are what causes. Yes. They are one of the things that causes social exclusion. They are one of the things that causes social exclusion, because if you are not doing things without by selection, you understand, people will not be able to really benefit more from what the government is doing. That is why we started clamoring for a disability right law that will look to the full implementation of the rights of persons with disabilities. If you look at the law that as constantly constituted in Edo State, these laws are with some part of this law are with sanctions. Some of these laws are with some sanctions. They are with sanctions, so that when public and private organizations are unable to provide some of the accessibility of access to persons with disability, the law can hold these organizations or individuals to ransom. That is why this particular law, the disability law, is very important now, and it's very, very timely.
All right, let's look at two key sectors that is mainly affecting the lives of persons with disability. That's the area of education and healthcare.
Yeah.
What are the challenges that persons with disability face in these two critical sectors? And how does the law protect them?
In the area of
education
and health. First and foremost, education is very important for persons with disabilities. You see, when I went through my primary school, the school that we attended was we call it School for the Physically Handicapped. You understand? And there is only one of that school in the entire of Benin City. In the entire of Edo State, sorry. There's only one. So education is very, very important for us as persons with disability, because without education, we will not be able to really, meet up with our colleagues. We will not be able to meet up.
It's like a leveler.
Yes, man. We will not be able to meet up with our colleagues in the society. So, by the special grace of God, the law, as presently constituted, is geared towards, it's just towards providing inclusive education for all persons with disabilities.
Okay, so the law specifically makes provision for inclusive education.
Yeah.
That education should be accessible to persons with disability.
And in the area of health, of course, you should know that health is paramount to us as persons with disability. We in that our disability law, we said health should be made free for persons with disability. Health facilities should be made free for persons with disability. You find out that
no, but some people will argue with you. Why should it be free? Why should it be free?
It should be because you find out that some of our the persons with disability fall into the cadre. Majority of us fall into the cadre where we are unable to. We are economically disadvantaged. You understand? We are not financially able to access health. That is why we are claiming that health should be in the free category, in the free cadre for all persons with disability. Because without health, without health, we will not be able to live. There are some things that we need as persons with disability. For example, medical facilities like providing our calipers and clutches, even the hearing aids for the hearing.
All right, I get that point. I get that point.
These things are very, very important for us.
All right, we're still with Mr. Henry Obose, former chairperson, the Joint National Association of Persons with Disability Edo State. He's been speaking to us on the Edo State Disability Law, navigating the complexity of the law and shedding more light on the law. We'll go on a short break now, and we'll be back. Welcome back from the break. It's still Hitches and Voices on independent television and radio. My guest in the studio is Mr. Henry Obose, former chairman, I must say,
yes,
Edo State Joint National Association of Persons with Disability. Before I went on the break, he was talking about access to key critical areas of our lives, which is education and healthcare. But I'd like him to take us through the journey of the Edo State Disability Law. Last week we had with us in the studio the current chairperson of JONAPID, Mrs. Ann Ojugo, sharing his experience with us. But you were there. You started the struggle to bring about the law. Can you just share your experience with us, how the law came to be, and your excitement and your expectation as far as the law is concerned?
Okay, thank you very much. You see, the struggle for a disability rights law in Edo State started way back, I think, in 2011. We thank God that we are able to get some partners like Daughters of Charity of St. Vincent de Paul, ROLAC, for example. They were there to really assist us. When we discovered that, when we heard that there is the government of that time, that was the government of Adams Oshomole, has the intention, nurses the intention to create, to initiate a bill. We are very happy. It is one thing for a government to have an intention. It's another thing for them to have the willpower to really carry them out. So we were very happy when we heard it. We knew that if we do not push, nothing will happen. So we started outright pushing. Twice that bill was stalled in the House of Assembly, twice, and we never gave up. We started pushing because ours was to really advocate and push to the Edo State House of Assembly to really to pass that bill. You understand? So we thank God. I think in 2022, the bill was finally passed. After 2011 to date, you can see how long it took us, the battle before that bill was finally passed. I think also in March this year, I think the commission was also established, even though the full body of the commission has not been fully established. It's just the principal officers that have been inaugurated. So we just hope that the full commission will be established, so that we can push the work of getting every details in that law. All
right, let me quickly move to the moratorium period. I know that the law provides for a moratorium period where institutions, private or public institutions, will now adapt to the provisions of the law, particularly in the area of building code, where buildings can now adapt their buildings to make it very accessible for persons with disability. Now that we have a commission, whether partially or fully inaugurated, what are your expectations and what do you think should happen within this moratorium period?
Well, from what I think is that we should not relent. We should continue. In fact, the advocacy is going to be hotter now. Should be hotter now, because the new principal bodies, the commission, the JONAPID, NAVID, we should lend our support, give our support to the new commission to get them on board, so that the dreams as embedded in that law and as embedded in the law will be realized. You understand? So I hope, I just trust God that at the end of the day, the bill, the commission will work to deliver the goods that is in that in the disability rights law. That is my hope. So we are not going to relent in our advocacy. We are going to take the advocacy to all the ministry, to the ministries, parastatals, to get them aware about the law.
Provisions of the law.
We have to let them aware about the provisions of the law, so that nobody will say they are unaware or they don't know about the moratorium period. So at the end of, I think the moratorium is 5 years or something like that.
Yes, we're running into 2 years now, as far as Edo State is concerned.
So the 3 years that is remaining before we kickstart, taking some people to court.
I'm sorry, Mr. Henry, I have to cut in here now. Time is fast spent. We have to wrap up for today, but I would like to thank you for coming on the program today. It is our hope and expectation that while we build society, we must build a society that is inclusive and a society that is not exclusive. Because disability is not the sole preserve of anybody. Disability can happen to anybody at any time. So we must build a world that is fit for all to live. I'd like to thank you for joining us on the program today, Hitches and Voices. Don't forget that this segment of the program came to you courtesy of JONAPID with support from the Ford Foundation. Join us same time, same station next week. Till then, spot the hitch and be a voice.